Hello, I am Dr. Devendra Vartak and I am an orthopedic surgeon here at KEM Hospital. I am a trauma surgeon as well as a joint replacement surgeon. So today we will discuss a very important topic, that is hip fractures in elderly. As you all know, as we age, the bones become weak and due to a condition called osteoporosis, and very small trivial falls lead to hip fracture. So the incidence of hip fracture is quite high nowadays, because in India the longevity of the population is slowly on the rise. Statistically speaking, around 20% of our population right now is more than 60 years old. So that's a huge number we are looking at, and around more than 6 lakh people have hip fractures in India per year. So that is a great patient load we have to deal. The per se the hip fracture management is not a big issue, but all these people have associated comorbidities like diabetes, some may be having BP, some may be having stroke, some may be having initial mobility issues due to arthritis. And on top of it, if you have a hip fracture, then to get the patient back moving is the real challenge, and that is what we are trained to do. So now in this video we'll look at 3-4 things. One, how do you know you have a hip fracture? So as in medical terms, what are the symptoms and when you should come to the KEM casualty and seek an appointment or come as an emergency. So there are basically 4 things. Generally you should have a history of fall or tripping, or maybe if the person is very old, like more than 80 or so, even a bout of cough, or you bending forwards to get something, and if you have a catch in the groin area or in front of the thigh, then it's a red flag. And after that the patient is generally not able to walk, so you are not able to put weight on your leg. You feel as if you have to hold somewhere and you cannot put weight on that leg. That is the second sign. The third, if you sleep, then your feet are generally like a V when you are sleeping, but the leg falls down. So if your leg is falling down, if you have a feeling that you have no control over your leg and accompanied by severe pain in the hip region, you are not able to move the hip, then you have to come, call for assistance at home, lie down, get an ambulance or a wheelchair, and you can come to KEM casualty where you will be looked at immediately. The second part is, how do we as clinicians diagnose a hip fracture? So that is very simple. If you have all these symptoms, we suspect a hip fracture, and then we get an X-ray done. In X-ray we see the hip bone or the femur. Now to understand what are the types of hip fractures, we will look at a real hip bone. So this is a hip bone called the femur. The upper end is called the head, which articulates with the socket, and then you have the hip movements. So when a fracture occurs, it can either occur, this is the head, this is the neck, and this we call the trochanteric region. So this is from the front and this is from the back. So if you have a fracture here at the neck region, or if you have a fracture here at the intertrochanteric region, the symptoms are the same. But on X-ray we come to know whether it is a neck fracture or a intertrochanteric fracture. Based on this, the management, the further management is different. So immediately what the doctors will do is, after the X-ray they will administer you painkillers or some painkiller blocks, so that the pain will go away, and they will give you either a skin or skeletal traction, so that the bone ends which rub on each other are kept away and your pain is relieved. The second very important thing is to fix this fracture. So if the fracture is at the intertrochanteric region, then we either put a plate and a screw, or we directly put a nail inside. So that we will see in the subsequent video. But to do this, we have to give anesthesia, and for anesthesia we have to do certain investigation, blood investigation, chest X-ray, ECG, the ultrasound of the heart called 2D echo, to find out whether the patient is fit enough to bear the anesthesia and bear the procedure. If he is not fit, we have to optimize the patient by doing the necessary things. That is, if the sugar is less or the sugar is more, we have to control it, control the BP. So that takes around 2 to 3 days. After that, we come to the fixation part. So fixation part is either, as I told you, screw or nail, or if the neck is fractured, we just surgically remove the head and put a artificial stem and an artificial ball. The advantage of this procedure is the patient will be up and about the very next day. The patient will be able to lie down on the side, do side turning, sit by the bedside, and with walker, eventually in 2 to 3 days, the patient will be able to walk on his or her own. So that's the greatest advantage. Why are we worried about hip fractures? Because once the patient stops walking, 2 to 3 major complications happen. One is pressure sores or bed sores, and number 2 is pneumonia, and number 3 is psychological disturbances as well. So once the pneumonia or bed sore sets in, it is a very difficult situation to come out of it, and that leads to morbidity or death in these patients. So it is utmost important to follow the motto of orthopedics, that is, life is movement and movement is life, and get the patient back on his or her own feet again. So this is why it is very important to, if you have symptoms, to come early, to get the diagnosis early and get treated early. So the reasons, now the next we come to reasons why in the first place the fracture occurs, and the most common reason is osteoporosis. So what is osteoporosis? So it is very self-explanatory. Osteon means bone and porosis means weakness. So in Marathi it is called hadachi thisurta. The density of the bone decreases. If you see a normal bone structure, it is like a beehive, and there is a cross-linking of the bone cells. So this cross-linking decreases and the bone becomes brittle. The most important part is, if you have typhoid, then you have a symptom called fever, or if you have any other disease, you have symptoms. Osteoporosis is a very deceptive disease. There are no symptoms, so it comes very subtly. So you have to detect whether you have osteoporosis beforehand and not wait for the fracture to happen. So preventive management of osteoporosis, you have to do DEXA scan or bone scan every 2 yearly after your age of 50, especially if you are a female. And there are many other things which actually are part of another lecture on osteoporosis, which we will cover soon. So in the next part we will see how exactly we do these surgeries, post-operative, what is the care to be taken, and something more about a topic which is very close to my heart, which is called fall prevention. So please keep watching this space.